Let's go now and talk about email, right? So at home, you have a mailbox outside of your home, or maybe it's on your front porch, right? And when you go to that mailbox, let's say you're coming home from work, you had a long day. What do you have in there? You know what's in there. A pile of things, a big pile of things, envelopes from all sorts of places. And a lot of times there's going to be important stuff in there, right? There's going to be some bills. There may be some letters, some correspondence. There may be some advertisements, like, for example, maybe a local store sent some coupons, right, to kind of lure you in to go to their website or to go to their brick and mortar business. But of course, there's also the majority of paper mail is junk mail, right? Now, let's just take a second, though. We're going to talk about email tomorrow, but there's a concept that we need to really lock in to take with us tomorrow. So let's really focus for just a second. If your email is just like a P.O. box, right, where you just get all sorts of information, you really want to know the location of your P.O. box, right? Same with your email. You need to know what your email address is. So you've got three parts to an email address. You've got what's called the username, which is everything that comes before the @ symbol. Everything that's before the @ symbol is called a username. And of course, you've got the @ symbol, right? It's the A. It's got like a extremely long rat tail, you could say. It kind of wraps around its whole head, right? You've got the @ and then at the end, you've got your email domain. So in this case, it's gmail.com, but it could also be yahoo.com, outlook.com, protonmail.com, icloud.com. All of those are email domains. So when you're giving someone your email address, it needs all three parts: your username, @ symbol, and the email domain. Really, really important. If you leave any of those out, you may not actually get any emails from that person that you shared that with. Of course, on the internet, we've talked about, going to websites. We've talked about email. There's tons of entertainment on the internet. And just a brief blurb about this. I don't want to go on a rant. If you know me in real life, you know I love to go on a rant. I won't rant now. But there's so many different options for entertainment: Netflix, Hulu, and ESPN, and news channels, and Spotify, and Paramount, and Disney Plus, and HBO Max, and on and on and on, right? I promise I'm not going to rant. That was it. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because sometimes we don't realize how much we're spending every month on all these services. So, serious business. Maybe take a minute and just take a look and see how many different services you use for entertainment every single month. You may be overpaying by a lot. In fact, the statistics say that the average American can spend up to $500 a month on different streaming services, between your music, your TV, your news, your movies, etc. And that's not to mention video games if you're into those. So maybe work with a family member or your kids or a friend and just look at your monthly subscriptions, get your bank statement out, and just take a minute and really analyze, do you need each one of these, or are you really even using them? Because you want to be able to not waste your money. So that's the end of that. No more ranting. That's as far as I'm going to take it. All right. So the internet, we've talked a lot. The internet's just like a highway. You use your device, right? Phone. It's like your car that you're driving on that highway. Your phone has an IP address that's just like your license plate. It's just a unique way to identify your device online. We've got websites that we access by means of web browser, and now you know exactly how to navigate a web browser, which I'm super proud of you for. And again, if it's not locked in, don't worry, just go back and watch it again. That's the nice part about this format. You can hear it multiple times so that it sinks in. Of course, every website has an address that we call a URL or a domain, and you got your email, which is just like your PO box, right? So we have talked about a lot. We've covered in 45 minutes. And there's so much more we could talk about when it comes to the internet. But I just wanted to give you these basics of navigation and understanding, because when you have the basics, you can build a lot from there. Every rocket scientist started with 1 + 1, right? Those basics, when you add them up over time, it's amazing the things that you can learn and put together.